Welcome back, everyone, to Rule of Reason, and thank you for sticking with me for this final episode in this first series of the podcast in discovering our meaning, and that's what we're going to be doing today. We've talked about personal responsibility, we've talked about gratitude, we've discussed the importance of perspective and the value of hard work. Last time, we talked about self-awareness, and today is the culmination of all 5 of those episodes in discovering our meaning. Now, why is that important? Why is finding meaning in life important? Well, I think deep down, everyone is searching for meaning. I think everyone is looking for their purpose in life. They don't want to just wake up every day waiting to die. You want to have a reason to be here, a reason to be marching forth in life as you get older and hopefully wiser. Now, 2 episodes ago, I talked about the value of hard work, and I touched on a German philosopher, Friedrich Nietzsche, and he talks about finding your why, that you can endure any how as long as you have a why. Another way that you can put that is your why is your meaning. It's the reason why you do things. It's a great quote for meaning because the concept of you can overcome any how as long as you have a why sort of explains the fundamental, I don't want to say crisis, but journey of finding meaning is that life is a struggle, and that in order to achieve your why, your meaning, you will have to overcome struggles. Imagine for a moment someone who's training for a marathon, 42.2 kilometers. It's a long way and a massive undertaking for anyone to achieve. But there are going to be plenty of times along the road to achieving that goal where the person is going to want to give up, where the body hurts, or you're hungry, or you're dehydrated, and you just think, this is too hard. I can't do this anymore. And if that's the case, why not give up? I mean, if all you want to do in life is have an easy life, and as we discussed earlier, one of the earlier episodes, that an easy life is not necessarily a good life, why don't you give up? And I think it's because we all know that if you've set yourself a goal, if you have your meaning, that you can overcome those challenges because you can tell yourself mentally that it's worth it, that the pain and the struggle is worth it. And the same applies in every area of your life, whether that be building a career, growing your family, or just improving yourself. If you know why you're doing it, then the effort seems worth it, even when it's hard. Hard work is rarely enjoyable, especially in the moment. It requires discipline, self-control, perseverance, and sacrifices. But I would argue that hard work is what shapes us. It's what turns suffering into growth and purpose. Without struggle, there is no strength. Without resistance, there is no progress. So the question is, what's your why? What's your meaning? Because hard work is going to seem like a massive burden until you know why you're doing what you're doing. As I mentioned a couple of episodes ago, the Bible verse, Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. And I forgot to mention last time the context around this verse. Jeremiah, the prophet, had been in exile for 70 years, 7-0. Talk about a lot of hard work and having a strong why to overcome the how, which in his case was captivity. To wrap up the series, the final call to action, finding your why, finding your meaning, finding what your purpose is and your reason to persevere through the hard times, to, I don't know, I mean, like I look at me with this podcast, and every time I go to film an episode, I'm filled with so much doubt. I just think, why would anyone listen to me? Why would anyone want to hear any of these things? But these doubts, this is all part of the challenge and the hard work for anything. The way I choose to view it, and this is how I overcome my challenges, is If I genuinely believe that this is my meaning and my purpose, then it doesn't matter what other people think. What matters is that I'm passionate about it and that I'm willing to persevere and push through the hard work and the hard times and the discouragement, because I believe I'm doing what it is I'm called to do. But let me tell you, meaning is not something that you just stumble upon. It's something that you build. Start by taking action. Look at your responsibilities and your skills and the people who rely on you. Where can you make a difference? What challenges push you to grow? As I said, I'm hoping that this podcast is going to be my meaning and that I am going to be able to help lots of people. But only time will tell. And that's going to be the same with you, both in the journey to finding your meaning, and then even when you have found it, is knowing whether it's the right thing or not. You have to stick with it in the unknown, even though you aren't certain it's what you're supposed to be doing. Or maybe you are, and that's fantastic. And if you do know, then you've got so much energy, personal energy behind you, because there's no questioning. You're on the path to what you're supposed to be doing. But for those of you who are like me, and you're not 100% sure what your meaning is, but you're hopeful that what you're doing or what you're striving for is, the key thing to remember is that meaning comes from service. It comes from commitment, from doing things that matter, even when they're hard. So this week, take one step towards something bigger than yourself, whether it's helping someone, learning a new skill, or setting a goal that challenges you. The time to start is now, because meaning isn't given, it's earned. I hope you found this series to be helpful. Recapping, we've talked about personal responsibility, gratitude, perspective, the value of hard work. Last time we talked about self-awareness, and today we've wrapped it up with finding your meaning. And the reason for all of this is not because this podcast is necessarily going to be a big self-help series, show. It's more that the grander view of the show is to discuss some quite complex political, social, philosophical topics. But there's no point looking up here and the world around us if we haven't got it all together in here. If we really want to tackle the big issues of the world, if we really want to see our community and our societies be better, that starts here, personally, and in the family unit. I genuinely believe that 90% of the problems in the world could be traced back to issues caused within the family unit from a young age. So if we can build strong families, strong communities, we are well and truly on the way to making a better society. Thanks everyone for sticking with me through these 6 episodes. I'm excited for what comes next. Stay tuned and I'll see you on the next episode of Rule of Reason. Bye.